Hey everybody, this is a clip from the latest episode of the Randi Rhodes Show. If you want the full episode, you can watch live on Free Speech TV, Dish Channel 9415 during...
Mary had a little man.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
Oh my God! Wow! Congratulations to the Nationals. Oh, the Nationals, they deserve this. They did. They came from behind all season. Nobody thought. Didn't have a chance. Wasn't going to happen. And they deserve it because they freaking booed Donald Trump and chanted, lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock. All right. It's my favorite Nats fan from last night.
This is huge for DC. DC needed this. We got some in the White House right now.
Oh, no. Love you, honey. Love you. Nicely done.
By the way, Randy, just so you know the backstory, the guy that you saw slide across the dugout there.
There's a story?
Well, a small story. That was actually at Nats Park in Washington, D.C., where over 10,000 fans showed up in the pouring rain.
Yeah, they were in the rain.
To watch them win it, because the game took place in Houston. So.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just interesting backstory on it.
So cool. So I think the Nats ought to make booing Donald Trump like their hallmark. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the rally monkey for the Angels, or something like that. Wouldn't that be cool? Like they just keep showing Donald Trump, because they did it last night too at Nat Stadium. They showed Donald Trump on. There was an ad, and they showed it on the screen, and everybody started booing again. A couple people had a towel. Woo-hoo. But for the most part, 2/3 of that stadium was like booing. And then they won. Oh, so Washington finally has a winner. Time to unload the loser in the White House. Yes.
Look at the top of his head.
Can I just say that it's Halloween and Donald Trump is orange all the time. So what does he do for Halloween? I mean, it's so weird. He looks like he's wearing a Donald Trump mask. Because he is. So I would suggest that he scrapes the orange tanning lotion, the potion, whatever that is, the spray, I don't know. I think he does a bed. I think he really does tanning because he's got the goggle white eyeball thing going on there. You remember that from like the 80s, the white eyeball goggle thing? Yeah, so I would suggest that he wipe all that tan stuff off and then go as an old bowl of raw oatmeal. See what I mean? Because that's what he would look like without all that stuff on him. Just scrape it off and go as a bowl of cold, old oatmeal. Something like that. I mean, Giuliani needs no costume. He looks like Nosferatu anyway. And Kellyanne Conway is always the Wicked Witch. Oh, so no costumes there either. So, I mean, the White House always looks like there's a Halloween party going on. Except today is their day to be frightened. Usually, it's one of my favorite Spanish words, usualmente. It just feels good in your mouth. But, usually we're afraid of them because we don't know what he's going to do. Like if he's tweeting Kim Jong-un, fire and fury, we don't know what he's going to do. So, and if he's withholding aid to Ukraine, or if he's suddenly pulling troops out of Syria, not telling the military about it, or ordering raids that they're, like, oh my God, we didn't, we better go now because we're going to lose our reconnaissance ability, we're going to lose our spies, we're going to lose our, rush in the middle of the night. We're usually afraid of him. But today, Donald Trump is afraid. Today, Donald Trump has to act. You know why? Everybody? Because they got what they asked for. You already know what happened today, right? You know that the House, I told you that this was going to happen. Everybody told you this was going to happen. This was not, something you had to dig deep to find out about, right? I mean, it was right there in the newspapers. Everybody knew Thursday today was going to be a big day, a big, huge day, because the impeachment inquiry resolution was going to be officially open to the public. They were going to vote on officially transferring the transcripts of the depositions that they took. Which, by the way, when are the Republicans going to stop lying about this Soviet-style secret thing that went on? Look, Ken Starr, I shouldn't even start there because this is more basic. Here's the more basic. 100 Republicans. Yeah. I've been saying 50, but I was wrong. I was wrong, people. Adam Schiff said today that over 100 Republicans were entitled to, by virtue of their committee assignments, were entitled to be inside when inside the skiff, when those depositions were being taken, and were permitted to ask questions. And that the time in the deposition phase was equally divided between Democrats and Republicans. And that the Republicans didn't even bother to show up. Isn't that something? So while they're, faking break-ins into the skiff and big drama things, and this one's sticking his head in and saying, oh, they wouldn't let me in, That's because you weren't on 100 of them were invited in, and very few of them actually attended. That was the sickest part. I mean, I just could not believe it. But, listen, the Republicans have been begging for this vote. And now they get this vote, and it was a big vote. And now they are decrying this vote.
Shouldn't they first have voted to start an impeachment inquiry, which has always happened? The first answer is to have a vote in the House on an actual inquiry if that's what they want.
Today they filed a resolution. And the resolution that was filed today, in and of itself, according to Speaker Pelosi, affirms the Soviet-style process that's been going on.
She cannot unilaterally decide we're in an impeachment inquiry.
You've been demanding this vote, and now that it's happening, you say the process is still a sham.
I applaud the Speaker for finally admitting it is a whole entire sham, but you can't put the genie back in the bottle.
But if they're going to continue down this path, there should be a vote on the front end.
After Thursday's vote, what changes?
Well, I don't think anything. You can't undo what they've done. I think this is just one more kind of make it up as you go along example.
Nancy Pelosi wants to run an unfair impeachment, and thus she doesn't want to have a vote. Now you see this week an actual vote occurring to legitimize that sham process. So I do believe that the majority leader of the Senate is correct that Nancy Pelosi's feeling the heat, but the way she is responding to that is totally antithetical to our constitutional principles.
If the House Democrats want to pursue impeachment, they should put their money where their mouth is and have a vote. This process, which was illegitimate yesterday, which is illegitimate today, apparently is going to be just as illegitimate come Thursday when they have this vote.
Okay, so, they asked for it, they got it, and now they're pissed off. Now they're just, pissed off, and they're going to still attack the process. There is a saying when you practice law that when you have the facts, you pound the table on the facts. When you have the law, you pound the table on the law. And when you have neither, you pound the table. And that's what they're doing. They're just pounding the table. They're just making noise. And they're attacking the process. The process, which, by the way, is the exact same process that Ken Starr undertook when it came time to impeach Clinton. You know what the difference was? Ken Starr was appointed an independent prosecutor. So Ken Starr was able to convene a grand jury where he took witnesses in secret with only the prosecutor present, him, questioned witnesses, okay? Nobody from the other side was entitled to be in that grand jury setting. Nobody, not even a defense lawyer of any person was entitled to be. You know how grand juries are, right? It's just the prosecutor and the grand jurors and the witness, period. End of story. Well, we weren't allowed to because of Bill Barr, who needs to be disbarred. And so they did a grand jury proceeding, but invited the Republicans, split up the time evenly. allowed Republicans to question the people who were being deposed and ran it fairly. But they didn't, the Republicans couldn't find time to show up. They just bitched.
Clear for takeoff.
The Randi Rhodes